But I have to say that one of my concerns about the debate that we've been having thus far in this country about the F-35 and the Navy, et cetera, is that it's been driven by first by the consideration of what the equipment is, and not first by consideration of what the primary missions are that we want our military, which is an instrument of national policy, to be accomplishing.
But Roland's saying right now we have a situation where we've got the tail wagging the dog. Our next choice for our next military engagement will not be determined by political imperatives, but rather by whatever equipment we happen to be able to have.
That's not true.
Well, you say it's not true, but that's what people are discussing.
Well, actually, that's not true. You know, there's a middle ground here. There isn't this ideal exercise where you sit down and you say, what are the strategic objectives? What's the threat? We should do it that way. We don't, because we're just imperfect human beings. What is driven by, and is, though, by the political environment, what our allies want us to do.
What I was saying before is that our discussion about what the future of Canadian defense policy post Afghanistan should be has been largely focused on the technical capability of particular weapons packages, rather than the broader discussion of what our priorities should be. And I agree with Janice, there's never going to be a perfect political process, but at the very least we can try and contribute some of that first principles thinking.
But you asked the question, Steve, what's the next mission? We already made that decision.
What is it?
We just made it this weekend. A chunk of Canadian armed capability is going to stay in Afghanistan. We've essentially said the combat group is coming out, but a chunk of our soldiers are staying. Why do we do that? Our allies asked us to do it. That is a repeated story in Canadian defense policy, and it will happen over and over and over again.
Not combat, though, right? You're talking about training Afghan forces and so on.
It depends what kind of training missions we do, but some training missions require our soldiers to be embedded in combat missions that go out.